Yeah, that would not be the right thing to do to drink whiskey in the morning.
You know, I've got to tell a Butte story that I just love about, you know, the Butte miners took a drink now and then, and they had a Butte miner that had a reputation of being able to take a drink of a particular whiskey and identify it without the label. So he was taking different sips, and he'd say this, and he'd say that. So they gave him a glass of water. He took a sip, and he said, "I don't know what it is, but it'll never sell."
So I guess let's talk a little bit about the reclamation of Silverbow Creek. You know, obviously the fish weren't biting much today, but you know, it's looking pretty good for the future.
Well, 100 years ago, the Copper Kings started polluting this river. And so we went most of the last 100 years without this river having a fishery. And of course, the state of Montana, federal government's been working together, and we've spent some $80-some million. And now Silverbow is nearly restored. And once again, we have the native cutthroat living in the Silverbow. And we didn't catch any of them yet. We tried a woolly bugger, we had an elk hair caddis, we had a stimulator, we even went a little bit under, tried to get...
lightning bug.
A lightning bug. We got a few more here on my... Try some of these out.
That's a special bottle for the governor.
Yeah, well, see, you got your magnet here, so you can keep your flies here. That way, you're ready for almost anything.
Not a novelty at all. That's utilitarian.
But let me tell you something about fishing in Silverbow Creek. It's just like fishing all over Montana. Whether you catch something or whether you catch a lot, as long as your dog's happy, you've had a good day fishing.
And Mr. Lilly, how does this feel? How does this feel for you? Do you
Okay,
have a certain special significance?
Here's the way I feel. I started coming to Butte, Montana in 1929 as a little boy. This creek, you know, was just a conduit for contamination. And now we recognize, and the governor recognized, that that creek is more valuable than copper and gold, because it's clean, clear water, it's feeding our main rivers, and that's going to be worth more copper and gold as we get older. Water is the key.
How do you feel that potentially you could come down there and you could really have a good day? You
Well,
could slay
I got to fish a little bit with the governor. He's doing very well. He's a very good listener. He's a big, strong man, and he learns quickly. When he comes back with all the advice I've got him, he can't lose.
What about the first fish you catch, sir? How will that feel?
If I caught a fish, I'd be so excited I'd put it right back. I promoted catch and release, you know, back in the 60s. People say, "What do you do throwing those fish away?" I said, "Well, they have a better chance living in the water than out of the water." And so these streams are extremely valuable. That's the way I feel. And I do want to mention, of course, that Butte has had a great reputation of coming together, and it was my second hometown. You know, I went to watch baseball in Butte. I played baseball in Butte. I went to the School of Mines for the Navy, and so I was very lucky to have two hometowns. Now I'm very lucky to be standing here with the governor and talking about this creek.
Did you ever think you'd catch a fish in here?
I didn't think you could even put in your foot there that'd rot off.
Hey, Governor, you say this is proof of the restoration, your restoration economy is working. Can you touch on that?
Well, we've actually created thousands of jobs in Montana during the last 7 years, cleaning up the mistakes of the past. So what can be better than creating jobs today and a better future for tomorrow? And let me just say this, Bud, not only do we have a river that's restored, we have a whole new generation of fly fishermen over there. See school children that are interested in fly fishing, because all over the country we're losing a generation of people who like to be outdoors, who like to enjoy fishing and hunting and camping. And in Montana, that's one of the greatest attributes for attracting people to come to Montana, to live in Montana, start businesses in Montana, is we have the best outdoors of anywhere in the world.
That's a wonderful statement. I worked with several governors when we had a program called Montana Ambassadors, and we brought about maybe 100 different CEOs to Montana, took them fishing. 70% of those people did something to enhance the economy and do something to build business in Montana. And what the governor just said about a generation, we can't all just sit with a computer or an iPod or some kind of a game. Being out of doors is the secret of having a clean air, clean water, and clean country. And I know the governor's promoting that, and it's promoting jobs, and it's a great thing for the big sky, because we've got it all. This creek has brought back antelope, deer, birds, the fish are now eating because there's something in there for them to eat. There's all kinds of insect life. When the governor comes back, when we've got insects on the water, he's going to catch fish.
And there weren't even bugs here before. And so how does it feel to finally have wildlife and things like that in Silverbow
The only
Creek?
advantage of before this was cleaned up, you could see it at night because it glowed.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Now that it's cleaned up, it's supporting a West Slope cutthroat population. That's our state fish. The cutthroat has been down to 16% of the surviving fish in Montana. With this kind of effort, and with more effort, cleaning up these creeks, it'll bring back the West Slope cutthroat, and there'll be a lot more here for us to enjoy in the future. I'm running out of time, and my age and my voice.
Got it. Anything else you
Well,
might like to
I know that I do my best thinking when I'm on a river or on a stream, and there's a lot of folks who spend a whole day, a whole week, a whole month on a computer or in a meeting, and I'll promise you, you get out on a Montana stream, Montana river, whether you catch a lot of fish or whether you don't, you'll have a lot of great thoughts, and you can put things in perspective when you're out of doors in Montana. And as I said before, if my dog's having a good day, we're all having a good day.
I got to add to that one more thing. The governor just reviewed what I talked about years ago. It's called the total experience. Being on a wild river, in wild places, in wild times, with wild women.
Well, the governor isn't actually proposing spending time on a river with wild women, but if with your experience, if you choose to,
Well, if you're
I'm not
having
gonna
a
stand
bad
you with-
day, it sure is hell better than a dog. I'm sorry.
That's good.
Thank you very much, sir.
I've been married for 30 years, and I found it's best not to talk about spending time on the river with wild women. My wife, she's just fine with me spending time with my dog on the river, but a boat full of wild women, she draws a line there. But
Well, I couldn't agree with that. My wife Esther is over here, Esther is a former director of the National Travel Limited.
well, Esther's going to kick you in the ribs
And
when
she
you get back.
is tougher than I am, I'll tell you that.
She's tougher than a $2
I hope
steak.
she's not here.
Oh, she's listening over there. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and for the kids that are here, remember, 99% of the world does not have this. They don't have streams. They don't have wild lands. They don't have wildlife that you can enjoy. 99% of the world is so crowded that you can't go someplace and hear a meadowlark or catch a wild trout in a wild river. So enjoy what you've got and start early, because you've only got a lifetime ahead of you.
Wonderful.